we pause for a second or two. This is episode 165, Visual Recognition AI. In all the change going on right now, a lot of it is about our infrastructure. Throughout history, whenever progress is made in the technological field, whenever new things and new infrastructure is invented, much changes. A lot about how we interact with one another, a lot about how we are towards each other, and not least towards ourselves change. And right now, the technological development is going very fast in some domains. Some infrastructure is developing rapidly right now. And in our common thoughts, in our common sort of discussion, AI, the term AI has sort of become the umbrella concept for all this technological infrastructure development now happening. And every time something new is invented, every time that we gain an option when it comes to infrastructure, every time that happens, something changes in how you and I can be people. And every change, every invention, every development feels a certain way. It changes how life feels. It changes how we think about what our lives are supposed to be like. In a world with cars, we imagine our lives as lives with cars. We go places in cars. In a world with phones, we imagine our lives as a world with phones. And we call each other and we make plans and interact through phones. And now, in a world with AI, we think of our lives and we live our lives accordingly. Now we make plans. Now you and I interact, also including AI. And this is new. This feels a certain way. This feels in a certain new way. It's not nothing, it is something. Today's episode is called Visual Recognition AI. And you can hear in my voice that in today's episode I am a bit more stern, a bit more premeditated than perhaps I am in other episodes. Because today's topic is changing a lot. Today's topic has the potential to change a lot about how you and me can interact with one another. And therefore, it is my ambition to strike a tone in today's topic that is somewhat more serious, to acknowledge that visual recognition AI has the potential to change a lot about what we have known into something we do not yet know. Visual recognition AI has the potential to be drastic in how our lives feel, in what kind of plans we make, in what kind of experiences we get. The Polaroid, the emotional skill for today's episode, is a specific skill internet for our confused situation. And specific skill internet is more than just talking about the internet. Specific skill internet is sort of everything infrastructure that creates the conditions and terms for how and why you and I can interact with one another. In other words, when you and I just meet face to face, there is nothing in between us. There is just you and me. Perhaps a few feet of air, but there is nothing between us. We just meet like two persons. Specific skill internet is about seeing the emotional consequences of all infrastructure facilitating how you and I meet other than face to face. So specific skill internet could be called specific skill infrastructure or indirect interaction or facilitated interaction or something like that. The medium between you and me, the translator or the gatekeeper between you and me. visual recognition AI has the potential to become a gatekeeper, a mediator, a middle hand in a way we have not seen before. So to just say something about the technology in itself, visual recognition AI is computer software that from an image can be just one photo, one image, or moving pictures, a video, or a stream, a video stream, or a camera, a video camera. Visual recognition AI can, from a picture or a moving picture, recognize what is in the picture. It can recognize what is in the picture. It can recognize who is in the picture. It can recognize the spatial relations between objects and people in the picture. It can be programmed to analyze the picture. It can be programmed to analyze the picture according to any set of prompts and ideals. This technology is so vast in its potential applications that we must first just pause for a second or two and just realize that this technology can be used for so much. It can be used for any and every agenda. In today's episode, we will not speculate into what different agendas this technology might be used for. Probably your imagination and mine is already running fast what this technology can be used for. But basically, with this technology, every camera lens can be transformed into something gathering information or pieces of information in an unprecedented way and to an unprecedented scope and scale. One camera lens, just one single camera lens, can gather so much information at any given moment, at any given place. And no human administration is needed. The camera and the software, the visual recognition AI, will in itself gather the information. It needs no manpower. It can be done completely automatic. So it will be not only extremely powerful, but extremely efficient, resource efficient. It will require little or no human resource to use. So once this technology now is being adapted, a camera lens changes its emotional and social value. Before this technology, before visual recognition AI, a camera is a camera in the way we view a camera. We know basically how we emotionally feel about a camera. But after this technology is being adapted, now a camera is something new. A camera is not what we have known a camera to be. Now a camera can gather information in a whole new way. A camera can, so to speak, see whole new things and analyze things in a way it before could not. Before, a camera was more or less indifferent. It's just a camera. It just records something. And then if a person wants to analyze it, they can analyze it. But the camera does not in itself analyze. Now, a camera can be programmed to do so much more than just recording. It can be programmed to gather information, sort information, and analyze information to then present results. A camera can now take pictures of thousands upon thousands of objects and pick out one object that it is programmed to pick out. Now, every camera in the world can pick out a needle in a haystack. When we are talking about this new technology, we pause and feel that the technology in itself feels very alarming. Without even talking about agendas, without even talking about what we will use this technology for, how to program this visual recognition AI, the technology in itself feels alarming. And that is the point of today's episode. That is specific skill internet. To simply recognize and feel how infrastructure feels to us in our lives. A car feels a certain way. A phone feels a certain way. Visual recognition AI feels a certain way. Regrettably, today's episode has been one where we might easily feel stressed, our hearts feeling adrenaline and apprehension. And the sort of nuance in this feeling might now become sort of a common feeling throughout the social web, so to speak. How we interact with one another might now take on a note, a tone of visual recognition, AI. So the conclusion for today's episode: specific skill internet for visual recognition AI, is that a camera is no longer a camera. A camera is now something more. A camera is now something new. A camera is might be proper, it might be useful to designate cameras as something new. And in the here and now, I can't really think of a term, although I think it would be meaningful to use a new term for cameras now. It's almost like maybe you are thinking about a term right now for yourself that is good. So before, a camera was just recording a moment visually. Now the camera can judge a moment visually. So perhaps we should start calling cameras a judging camera. Like I would like to find value neutral word for it, just a descriptive word for what cameras now transform into. Perhaps this term I now thought of has the wrong sort of how it sounds, but its function is quite similar. That cameras now gain a harvesting function. That cameras now can harvest a visual image of information. So a harvesting camera or a harvester. And that we, our lives, being the objects for the harvester camera, we become harvested. Anything about me in the camera frame might be harvested for any intents. Anything about you and me having a meeting in the frame of the camera might be harvested for the interests of a third party. So I think actually that a harvester is a quite properly descriptive term for it. It's harvesting information about whatever it is seeing. It's not just recording, it is harvesting. I think that term is at least quite neutral. It still feels alarming, but perhaps the technology in itself just is alarming. So perhaps harvester is just a suitable term. Let's, until further, call them harvesters. So now cameras are also harvesters, not only recording images, but harvesting information out of images for any and every agenda. Yes. That's it for today. Thank you.